like I said, the most important voice in the room, always yours. You've heard from senior attorneys like Cece Ohio. You've heard from Tulsi Gabbard. You've heard from us, of course. But now we turn to you. Let's go ahead and start off the top. Marty's calling from Tennessee, on line one, who's watching on YouTube. You're on the air.
My question is, when cases like this happen with the high offices in the land, and what prompted my curiosity is when it says it's too complicated for jurors, aren't we looking at a case that involves constitutional law rather than civil law or any other kind of normal federal law, that it should go to a court that's designed for this, that doesn't involve normal jurors?
Well, Marty, the law still has to be followed, and the process of how this works is that the prosecutors brought charges, and it has to start at the lowest court in the system. It's still a federal court. It's still in the federal court system. It's a district court. And once that trial is over, if it ever gets to trial, then the former president, if he was convicted, would have a chance to appeal that to a higher court. Now, I wouldn't be in favor of short-circuiting the system just because of the stakes of the matter. But that's why they have these pretrial conferences and hearings, are to try to boil it down to what actually is being charged. Did the prosecution make it way too complicated? Can they resolve some of these issues before it even gets to a jury? And that's what you're seeing play out. It's a part of the process, and it will continue to go through. And despite what some on the left may think, I do think that Judge Cannon is very competent and is taking this very seriously.
James is calling from Arkansas, watching on YouTube, been on hold for about a half an hour. I appreciate it, James. You're on the air.
First, can I say that I'm a little peed off all these illegals are letting in, and they're not helping homeless veterans.
Yeah, James, I understand. I think there's a lot of feelings like that when you see how much the money is being spent on these situations at the border,
right?
And how much we are not spending on, like you said, like on the veterans. I remember when there was that time where they were telling current active duty servicemen to get food stamps. And I was going, you know, there is a time where the dignity of people needs to outweigh even our politics.
The dignity of the best of America, which are those that fight for our freedom, defend our freedom, and should be taken care of.
Yes, let's go to William, who's calling in the state of Texas, watching on YouTube as well. William, thank you for watching on YouTube. Welcome.
Yeah, I have a legal question to ask you. If Trump wins the New York case, can the judge do a judgment notwithstanding the verdict and then reverse that and find him guilty?
So a judgment notwithstanding the verdict would be basically the judge going around the jury. And in this case, no, the judge cannot do that. So just direct answer. An attorney got me the answer very quickly, so I want to thank for that.
We got a great team here,
but
folks.
I will say that in this case, no, the judge would not be able to do that. Yeah. So if he were to prevail in this case in New York, that would be the final word for that.
Do a couple things before we take these last calls. I'm going to encourage you to support the work of the ACLJ by going to aclj.org. Take a look at I don't just mean support the work financially. I do think you should, but we provide incredible amount of resources, content. You heard about the situation in California earlier in the broadcast. We can do that because of your support. But all the content, everything is available for absolutely no cost. Go to aclj.org. And if you need help, aclj.org/help, legal help. We are there for you. Let's go to John, who's calling in Illinois. John, you're on the air.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. On the Mar-a-Lago case, doesn't the misplacement of place cards and mishandling Jack Smith has done with these documents give the whole defense the right to deniability of what classified documents they want to say were in these boxes?
Like I think that I think the judge has said this is fraught with so many issues right now, whether it is the fact that there was now pretty much definitive. We know a lot of those photos that we saw were not what was presented. We know that the documents were not handled correctly. So, John, you're right. There are so many legal issues that are coming upon this, and these pretrial things that are erupting into chaos are just more of a result of that.
So what John's asking about is specifically, you'll remember the pictures even that were released of the documents that were staged across the floor at Mar-a-Lago, and there were the placeholders that said classified documents. We found out through filings that those were actually brought by the FBI for the staged photo. Those weren't actually those placeholders, those red color slips that said classified documents and things. Those weren't actually in the boxes. They used that as a symbol for what was there that they removed. So John's asking about that, coupled with the fact that the evidence was admitted to being out of sorts, out of order within the discovery boxes and the evidentiary boxes, that the special counsel admitted that before the court. Does that give some sort of defense for the president? What it seems, as Logan pointed out, is that those are issues that they're going to have to address. There will be filings. There are all these pretrial motions, and that is the exact reason why the case has been placed on indefinite hold as far as a start date with the trial. So all of that will continue to play out. There will be more hearings and more hearings. They said that they're at least scheduled to go through the end of July, but they don't even believe all of those issues will be resolved by then. So it's going to be very interesting to watch what comes out of these hearings as we move along, because there's more coming.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers. I always appreciate it. But we have seen now the government, we've talked about it all day, the government targeting basically a lot of us because of their political leanings. Political rivals are being targeted, whether that's us or whether that is former presidents of the United States. We've also heard about your faith, your religious freedom under attack in places like Southern California. And we can get involved, and we're going to get involved. The ACLJ is taking action. So whether you're a kid in a public school who is banned from carrying the Bible, or you are, a president of the United States who is being persecuted, we are there for you because of the support of the members of the ACLJ. And when I say members, these are people who say, yes, we want to fight against the attacks of faith. We want to fight against the attacks that are coming upon people who have conservative views, Christian views. Really, that's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a lot of you evangelical Christians. I know evangelical Christians or Christian Zionists and all these have become dirty words, but they aren't to us and they aren't around here. Become a member of the ACLJ today, either again with a one-time donation or become an ACLJ champion. That is someone that supports the work of the ACLJ on a monthly basis. So when you need us, we're there for you. And if you do need us right now, if you heard maybe about that case in California or the situation in California, if you heard about any of these situations, you think, that's me, that happened to me, that happened to my workplace, that happened, maybe I work for the government, this is what happened. Go to aclj.org/help. I encourage you to do that right now. Fill out that form. You'll be assigned to an attorney. Again, it's at zero cost to you ever. Our clients do not get charged. I want to make sure that's always clear and always known. If your rights are being infringed upon, we're here to help.